Hello everyone, this is Overmind and welcome back to another StarCraft 2 replay cast. This is sort of a special edition episode, but I will get to that in a moment. Let me go ahead and introduce our players spawning on Frost. On the bottom left hand side, in red, we have our Zerg player Barcode, whose real name was given, but I can't remember it, unfortunately. And spawning on the right lower side of the map, in blue, we have our Protoss player ProbeAlone, who either really likes to sound like the provolone cheese, or who has very interesting hobbies. He's gonna go ahead and throw down his first pylon so that he can wall off against any standard Zerg early attacks. Now, despite the fact that our Barcode player has these nice overlords going to scout and looks like he's sort of doing some pretty standard stuff, he's actually not. He belongs to a group who does sort of Funday Monday-esque exercises, and they vote on them, they submit replays to each other, winners are chosen, they have a great time. And this is actually going to be one of the winners of this round from the Bronze League. This week's topic is Mass Queens. Now, Mass Queens means something very important. It means mass hatcheries. So he's probably going to want to expand a whole bunch all over the map, all the time. Now, our poor Protoss player, ProbeAlone, probably is expecting things like Zerglings or roaches, all manner of stuff, but really, he's just going to encounter lots and lots of queens. Now, our Barcode player is going to need to set up a pool, because you can't build queens without a pool. So that's going to be pretty important. He's either going to expand again or build a pool, I think. Expand? Pool? I'm very excited to see how this goes, actually. He's going to go ahead and build a hatchery, not anywhere near minerals. I think the reason this might be is because you're going to want creep spread, because queens move way faster on creep. So you probably want to have hatcheries and buildings all over the place. See another drone moving out. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take an expansion, build an extra hatchery. And so now we have 3 hatcheries in production. That is 4 hatcheries total before pool. Now that's exciting, because that means he's going to be able to build 4 queens at a time as soon as he gets that spawning pool up, but that's a detail. He is just about to encounter ProbeAlone, who himself is pretty well shut up, pretty well walled in. Actually, I'm not convinced that this is an incredibly tight wall in. I think we might be able to fit a probe or a Zergling over here, and I think you might be able to fit one between this spot as well. Looks like, yeah, alright. So I think you can actually get between that in 2 spots, but that's fine. This is actually a Bronze League game. It's okay that it's not a completely tight wall off. The important thing is that he's not going to attack, and he's not going to scout just yet. Which is going to help us out a lot, because it's going to take him longer to figure out what's going on. Pool is on the way. This last hatchery is about to finish up, and pretty soon we're going to be able to start producing queens. Oh, it's going to be so much fun. And there's the pool finishing. 2 queens starting. 3. Oh, is it going to be 4? No, just 3. Just 3 to start out with, because he doesn't have enough money for that. He wants to build some drones. You can't jump right into this, so, you know, you gotta give it time. There's the 4th one, yeah! All those hatcheries producing queens very quickly after he gets the minerals for them. And no need to mine that pesky gas, because upgrades are not going to be nearly as important as, say, having a whole bunch of queens. Now at this point, ProbeAlone is, he's got his 4 gateways. He's gonna go ahead and try and research upgrades so that they can be 4 warp gates, and that'll be good for him. Hopefully he's not planning to do too much early aggression, because we want to get that queen number up really, really high before anything like that happens. So he's gonna go ahead and morph these into warp gates, and we'll see what happens with that later. I actually haven't seen this game, so I'm pretty excited, actually. I was told that of the 3 games that were posted, there was only one winner, and I have no idea if he wins. But I am rooting for you, Barcode player. You are our hero, our champion. Don't ever stop being awesome. Drone's gonna go ahead and mine a whole bunch, which is going to mean that he will be able to have money to make more queens. Yes! And we do see 4 extractors going down. Now that could be for a lot of things. It could just be for upgrades. I guess I've never really thought about whether or not ground unit upgrades would affect queens. I guess I imagined they would. Maybe that's what it's for? I don't know, but I'm excited to see what he spends that gas on. But in any case, he's gotten his minerals high enough. He's able to produce 4 queens pretty consistently. He might want to go ahead and build more hatcheries because his mineral count is starting to get pretty high, and he wouldn't want to produce fewer queens than you could. No. Alright, awesome. This is actually really shaping up. I think I would be pretty terrified if I saw this number of queens anywhere on the map. Probe gonna go ahead and transfer off. ProbeAlone just going to go ahead and build up his natural, which, you know, he hasn't been attacked yet. He's a little timid to expand, but who isn't versus Zerg with all those pesky Zergling run-ins? He's gonna go ahead and build his Twilight Council down here, which seems like an odd placement for such a valuable piece of tech right at the front where it could be sniped. But that's gonna be okay. I'm not actually sure that units can get out of here. I imagine that they must be able to, but I don't know if a stalker will fit through those little gaps. So hopefully he warps in on the low ground. We have the queens over here killing all these rocks off, because that way they can get down the ramp faster. More room for them, yeah. Not just clearing out the debris so that there aren't any misclicks or anything obnoxious like that. And we are going to have 2 more hatches thrown down. So now we will be able to produce queens 6 at a time for those of you who are keeping track at home. And the queen's actually very, very slowly working away these rocks. Now it looks like we do have upgrades coming in. We have missile attacks and ground carapace. So those actually sound like they'd be perfect for mass queens. Yeah! He is getting rather high in his gas count, though. He probably doesn't need to be mining nearly this much. And holy hatcheries, you guys. 4 more are going to be placed down in the main so that we can... Oh, nope, 3 more. Changed his mind. Only 3. Don't want to go overboard. Only 3 hatcheries being placed down in the main. All for the purpose of making more queens. He's going to go ahead and get a lair. We'll see what lair tech he's going to go ahead and get out of this. Thus far, I'm very impressed by his dedication to this mass queen. This is an army, I'm pretty sure, made up only of queens. Let me check the unit tab. Yeah, just 22, 23 queens. That number swelling all the time. And this is going to be... Oh gosh, this is going to be like the most creep tumors placed in an area. Look at all the little red dots in the minimap. That's so much creep. It's going to be excellent because it's going to help the queens move along across the map to attack much more quickly. So that's what we want. We have more queens being produced. And I've just been waiting to see what he does with this lair. Alright, he's going to make a queen, which is pretty obvious, but he's going to... Yeah, there's just... I think there's just Overlord upgrades and Hive from this, pretty much. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take another expansion. I'm going to go ahead and call the ones by the minerals expansions, and the other ones just around the map, sort of proxy, creep spreading, queen producing awesome hatcheries. That's what we're going with. Those are the official terms. It's been a long day, you guys. Lots of queens. Very impressed by that. I'm actually going to go ahead... Alright, the army supply is actually way in favor of our barcode player. 82 now to 24. And worker supply 54 to 40. So actually this is looking pretty reasonable, at least as far as the army supply is concerned. I've never just seen an army of queens go and attack another army though, so I have no idea what's good against it. I imagine splitting them apart with force fields and just lots and lots of DPS. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. They've got the upgrades. This could be very good. This could be very lethal. It looks like they're all sort of having a party. Look at that. Dancing for the camera. Ah, queen party. Alright, cool. So, ProbeAlone has actually decided to go ahead and take 2 expansions, because he had a lot of money. He's going to send an observer, and I believe that this is the first time he's going to go ahead and scout. And I'm really excited to see what this observer's story is that he's going to bring back to his general, what intel he's going to gather, and if he's going to see the 1,000,000 queens that are in this army. So he stops tentatively at the creep, frightened to go off the edge. He's probably going to see a lot of creep tumors. He's going to see that yet another hatchery is coming up, but probably not for the reasons that he thinks. No, looks like this observer is actually content to just sort of sit on the edge of the creep. Not gonna scout, not really. It's gonna be alright. Oh, nope, never mind. As soon as I say it, of course. He's gonna move along. Oh, he's gonna see the queens? No, he's not. He's not gonna see the queens. Oh, you guys, I'm excited. Oh, and he encounters 1,000,000 queens. He actually turned. Did you see him? He was flying away, and then he turned to follow the army of queens. And then he flew close enough to an overseer who spotted the scouting observer who saw the 1,000,000 queens. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the units tab. There are 58 queens for the sake of precision. 5 queens being produced. Additional missile attacks going along. Oh, we got Overlord speed and the ability to transport units. Well, that could be interesting. We've got a whole bunch of Overlords following this army. Oh, please be a queen drop. Please be a queen drop. Please don't just be rallied near the other queens. Just be a queen drop. I don't know, you guys. I'm excited. The queens are excited. The creep spread is getting probably pretty dangerous seeming, at least if you're ProbeAlone. Like, it's gotta be fairly disconcerting to have it come right up to your base like that. I think this is gonna snipe those creep tumors there. The rest of them are gonna plant on down, and the creep's just gonna keep spreading out. And I haven't spent as much time on ProbeAlone, but what must be going through his mind? Like, oh, well, I scouted, and I saw an army of only queens, and the creep is starting to get into my base. Better make a void ray. And better make a dark shrine. Yes! It's the correct answer for everything that ever happens to you as a Protoss player in the Bronze League. So, I don't see too much more queen production. I actually... the Overlords are loaded up. The Overlords are loaded up and our barcode player is almost maxed. More queens gonna head on down to be loaded up into the Overlords. Oh, I'm so excited right now, you guys. I'm so excited. The Overlord's gonna go ahead and move back into the safety of the base. I don't know. I'm just excited to see if this works out. I very seldom see Overlord drops in Protoss players' bases. I just don't see it very often. It actually sounds like a brilliant idea. And I want to go ahead and go to the Structures tab. How many... Alright, there are 10 hatcheries and 1 hive at this point. That's what we have to work with. So 11 structures that can make queens. 5 more queens gonna be produced, I think, because our barcode player is at 199 of 200 supply. And of those units, pretty much all of them are queens. That's the way it's gonna work out. Alright. Alright, we're gonna move across the map. Slowly but surely. I'm gonna be so sad if these overlords die. I play Protoss, so usually I'm pretty happy if I can kill an overlord, but I really want these ones to live. They're gonna be pretty careful as they cross along. They have some pretty good vision with this creep, all the way up to this point in the bridge. And these overseers are going to actually be spotters for them, whether or not he intends to. It looks like they're all sort of moving as one group. He doesn't want to tip the Protoss off that this is happening. Pretty soon the Protoss is going to be able to see this on his minimap, though, as it flies past this base. Is he going to drop it here? No. No, no, no. He's going to drop it in the main. He's going to drop it in the main. And the queens start falling down and immediately attack the pylons that are building. Oh, the army. The army's having some trouble moving up. There we go. The Protoss army has moved up to engage. Overlords putting creep everywhere, all over the base. The ones that still have queens inside them are going to go ahead and... Oh look, transfuses are going on between the queens. They're working as a team. These overlords being in the way is probably sort of detrimental to this fight. It's making it very hard to see what is happening, but I can still hear that clicking sound of queens shooting at things. Looks like our queen count is sort of low, but here we go. We have the rest of them dropping. Deciding to focus down an assimilator, which it might be a better idea to go ahead and engage this army. We see some nice transfuses going down on these two queens. This one will eventually fall. Probably should... Oh, more transfuses really helping to keep this alive and going. The numbers in the Protoss army are dwindling down. Overlord's just gonna kind of hang out over here and dump creep on this base, because why not? Overseer is going to ensure that the queens are able to spot all of these DTs that the Protoss player has. More transfuses coming in clutch. Being incredibly useful. Many stalkers die. Much of the base dies. DTs are dying. The Protoss player is dying. This has worked so surprisingly well. I am so excited this is the way that this is going. Oh, this is so good. Stargate gonna go down. A few queens are still just kind of hanging out in the air, chilling. ProbeAlone has left the game, and our barcode player also leaves the game after taking a few seconds to admire his work. Oh, that was nice. That was good. I've had a rough night on the ladder, and this has been an excellent way to recover from that. Very much in the spirit of Funday Monday. Thank you so much, you guys, for submitting these awesome games, and for having fun on the ladder, reminding us that StarCraft 2 is meant to be fun. For those of you out there who would like to submit a replay because they like this cast and want me to cast one of your games, go ahead and send it to NoobCrafted@gmail.com. That's NoobCrafted@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. I had fun casting. I hope you had fun watching, and have a good night.